Anybody remember this? Y'all can guess what today's topic is. Anybody read this right here? Anybody read this right here and hear that note? Y'all remember that note? This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Anybody remember that? Yes, yes. I used to interrupt your favorite TV show. You watching Good Times and it's good to the good part. That joint come on. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. In the event of an emergency, I wouldn't be watching TV. Now get back to the show, right? They used to do it. And then even back in the 80s, I'm giving you my age. In the 80s, they had a siren that would go off at noon. Anybody remember that joint? I grew up in Wichita. I'm from Memphis, but I grew up in Wichita, Kansas. And Wichita flat, right? Tornado heaven. And at noon, you hit a like straight up, right? Yes, when I'm watching my Y and Young and the Restless. Ooh, Erica Kane. Yeah, you ain't think I knew about that, right? She's still alive or no? Nope. Like she dead in real life or she dead on the show? Victor Newman. I thought he was As the World Turns. I was saying, hey, y'all not Young and the Restless. Yeah. See, y'all, listen, my freshman year at U of H, we used to watch we used to go to the football locker room, watch Young and the Restless, and then Jerry Springer, and then go to practice. Oh, it was going down. Young and the Restless, then Jerry Springer, then football practice. Oh, you could imagine the drama we was having at practice, right? Anyway, so y'all do remember that. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system, right? I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna get started real quick. It used to go like this. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. In the event of an emergency. All right, my message today is real simple. This is only a test. It is only a test. Drop that in the chat real quick. We still do have those. They still do come on. They call EAS test now. They call the EAS test. I think it's emergency alert system. But growing up, we knew it as the emergency broadcast system, right? So my message today, I got up at 5 this morning, a little bit later, but that's what came to me today as far as life. When I woke up, my topic today was God's testing. God's testing. Drop that in the chat. This is a test. Well, this is only a test, right? Trusting God through trials. Trusting God through trials. Before I start this, man, Curtis, Brianna, Shayna, Inez, are you being tested right now? Are you in a testful season? Right? Do you know the test yesterday? A lot of times we just going through life. Thank you, Curtis. A lot of times we're going through life and we don't even know what test we in. I'm going through. Y'all hear me say stuff on the radio like we all go through our go-throughs, right? But it's a test, right? So I looked up the definition of test. A test is something such as a series of questions or exercises for measuring the skill, knowledge, intelligence, capacities, or aptitudes of an individual or group. That sounds pretty complicated. A test is something for measuring the skill, knowledge, or intelligence of an individual or group. I just broke that down. In the Bible, a test is a trial used by God that prepares your heart. That's what a test is, right? In the world, we use this thing for measuring our skill or our knowledge, just to see how much we retain or what we know. Yes. In the Bible, a test is a trial used by God that prepares your heart, right? So there's the human test, and then there's God's test, right? Here it is. With the human test, stay with me. The key is to know all the answers. Yes, yes. When we taking the exam at school, passing the bar, well, you know, in high school, I found all kind of ways to cheat the test, but whatever, it's all good. Look on Curtis' paper, right? It's all good. But in the human test, the thing is to know all of the answers. In God's test, the key is not knowing none of the answers, right? God is testing us because we don't know the answer. The key in God's test is actually trusting God to know the answer, right? In our man-made test and our worldly test, we can cheat and look on the next paper, you know, people over there, see if she know it, right? Hopefully she know it. And if she don't know it, we don't know it. I was good if we both gonna fail this mug. All right. Hey, you don't know it, we don't know it. Cause I for sure don't, right? Some of y'all laughing because you know it was true. Like you was out of there. You was like, listen, I really don't know. So if you don't know, we're gonna have the same answers. But anyway, and God's test is like, man, I don't know the answers, so I'm trusting that God does. It's the test, right? So I wrote this down. You are always being tested or prepared for something, right? Drop in the chat, write the word tested, tested. Here's the thing. Thank you, Keisha. Here's the thing. The devil, we was talking about the devil yesterday, right? We was talking about the devil yesterday. The devil does not want us to see it that way, that God is testing or preparing us. The devil don't want us to see that. You know what the devil wants us to see? Remember yesterday, we was talking about how tricky the devil is. I'm gonna show you how the devil wants us to look at a test. And we all look at it just like this. Tell me, in the streets, they say where to lie at, right? We look at it, the devil wants us to look at it like it's another issue that we really want to avoid. Yes, yes or no? No, ain't that the way we look at tests? Man, here's something else that I really want to avoid. At all costs, I want to avoid this, right? I want to avoid this light bill issue, this jobless issue, this, right? We try to avoid that. That's how the devil wants us to look at it. God looks at it like, let me test your faith so that you can actually grow. Go back to the definition. Go back to the definition. Human test, world test is something for measuring the skill, knowledge, intelligence of an individual or a group. In the Bible, a test is a trial used by God that prepares us for something, right? When you taking a test, you're trying to prove what you know. When you're going through a test, it's preparing you for something bigger or better, right? And it's always better when it comes to God, believe it or not, right? So when your faith is tested, you are able to grow. This whole devotion today came out of my real life. Listen, last night, I usually go to the gym right after this. Last night, I didn't make it to the gym till 8 p.m. after being completely stressed out all day long, right? All day long. So I'm in the gym and I got the music up, and I think I had my top 25 playlist going on. It's my top 25 songs I've ever played in my phone. So it was a little ratchet. It was a little worship going on. Had a little Tupac, had a little Kirk, had a lot of everything going on, right? But this is where the devotion came from. When your faith is being tested, you are able to grow. Can anybody right now say their faith is being tested in whatever season you might be in? Yes, yes. Anybody being tested today? Right? Did you realize what the test was yesterday? Anybody know what the test was yesterday? Here's the crazy part. A lot of us don't even know what the test was. How we gonna pass it? We don't even know we in a test. We just feel like we going through a go-through. It's just another issue. Something else to deal with, right? I really want to avoid this. God, like, avoid it. Bro, I'm trying to help you, right? So I wrote this down. I wrote this down because I was in the gym. When you are working out in the gym, where my gym people at, right? When you working out in the gym, or my want to be in the gym people, you trying to do what? You either trying to gain or you're trying to lose, right? For us, that's trying to gain muscle, trying to get that six pack right, right? Trying to get that to sit up, right? Pressure makes diamonds. That's what us noobs say. Pressure makes diamonds. Keisha, what you know about that? Don't get me started. Don't get me started, right? Intense heat and pressure. Curtis, let them know. Let them know, Curtis. Intense heat and pressure makes a diamond. Okay, let me stop. Get back to it. Get back to it. We're in the devotion. We're in the devotion, right? When you're in the gym, you're trying to grow your muscles, so you test yourself. She's talking about, here you go, right? You test yourself by doing what? If you want to grow some muscles, right? What do? You test yourself. You put more weight on that joint, more weight, more pressure. You get on the treadmill and you go faster. You put the incline up and you go higher. You go further, right? That's when we want to grow. God kind of used that basic analogy for our life. You get more weight every time, right? You can bench 225. Tomorrow we trying 230, right? And the test keep going, and it keep going, and it keep going. Then you peak out, take a break, and do it again. Yes, yes or no, right? God tests us basically the same way. More hurdles, more pressure, more obstacles, and guess what? We are supposed to grow from it. Right now, pause in this joint right now. Think of something that was hardest back in the day or last year or growing up. Man, that I did not know how to get through that thing. But today you could do it like that. Think about it. Take a second and literally think about something that was so hard back in the day. Today, that's light work. Something light. That's something light. Think about it. You got it? Right? I was looking for a scripture because if we're going to be faith-based, I got to drop a scripture in here. And I said, God, give me a scripture, right? I said, God, give me a scripture that talks about your faith being tested. And I hit Google, on the streets of Google. Y'all, I found 39. Inez, Adria, I'm not going to ask you to drop all 39 today, but I found 39 verses from the Bible to choose from about faith being tested. 39. I'm sure it's more. It's got probably more. And as soon as I saw that, I said, man, God must really want us to know that we about to be tested. 39. If I told you something two-way, hey, don't touch that stove. Hey, that stove hot, stay away from it. Hey, don't go over there, is right? If I told you something 10 different ways, you'd be like, all right, I got it, right? 39 ways this morning. God gave us the scriptures to show us that your faith gonna be tested today, tomorrow, over the weekend, next week is going down. Drop that in the chat. It's going down. Put a couple W's on that down, by the way, right? First scripture. Inez, where you at? 1 Peter chapter 1, 6 and 7, right? It says this. Drop it in there so y'all know we ain't rehearsed this joint. In this, you greatly rejoice, even though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been distressed by various trials, so that the proof of your faith be more precious than gold, which is perishable, even though tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor, the revelation of Jesus Christ. It's going down, right? That's one. I was all over the Bible with this one. And I ain't never pulled it. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all, listen, I might come off a little Christian. I ain't never pulled this. I didn't even know this book was in the Bible. This one. Zechariah 13 and 9. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember ever being in Zechariah. Maybe I need to go over there because God left me a little note, and you too. Zechariah 13 and 9. Adrian, Zechariah 13 and 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name. Y'all ever been like, God, dear God? Okay. And I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is my God. Test. Yes, yes. There's just two of them, right? I had so many to choose from. I just saw Zechariah and said, I'm pulling up Zechariah because I ain't never been in Zechariah. Anybody else ain't never been in Zechariah? There's a note in there for you. If you're going through something, you might want to go somewhere where you ain't never been, right? We could have easily pulled up the story of Job real quick. We know that test. Zechariah is like, look, God's words are, I'm going to bring you through the fire. At the end, you're going to say, the Lord is my God. Sheesh. He says, I will refine them as silver is refined. I will test them as gold is tested. It's God saying that. It's going down, my guy. Right? Here's the good news and bad news. Y'all want good news and bad news? Y'all ever play that game? Hey, man, Riri, I got some good news and some bad news. What you want? Right? Shayna, what you want? The good news or the bad news? Stacy, how you doing, girl? You want the good news or the bad news, right? The good news is there is purpose behind your problem. Drop that in the chat. Purpose behind your problem, right? I ain't got a job, can't find a job, everything you're trying to do, there's purpose behind it. Maybe God trying to talk to us, right? Or fix us. Right? There's purpose behind it. Y'all want to know the bad news? Nobody want to know the bad news. Bad news is when God give you a test and you pass that thing. Remember just a minute ago we were talking about a test that we might have had back in the day that was easy now. Somebody come to you with a problem, you'd be like, oh, do this. Right? They freaking out. You like, yeah, just do this, right? Bad news is when God gives you a test and you pass it, he blesses you. That's the bad news, right? He's not coming back the next time with a lighter test. That's the bad news. It's two parts of that, right? God gonna bless you through this test, but guess what? Tomorrow we adding 5 to that thing, right? Or better yet, we done with that one. Let me give you another test. Anybody ever come up? Let me tell y'all about coming up. Whew. Let me tell you, right? I'll tell you a quick story about coming up. I'm glad Curtis is on here because he remembers. He remembers everything I'm about to say. There was a time that I was just, man, I'm about to quit this radio thing and this hard. I'm tired of driving this van and I just want to be on the mic. You graduate from driving the van, you get the job on the mic, everything good. Now here come the pressure, right? Now they want you to perform every day. Man, I'm getting tired of this. I want to go do my own thing. Curtis, am I lying? Right?
Nope, not at all.
Right, you go through the test. Here come another one. Here comes more weight. What's up, Genesis? Genesis, you missed an amazing word yesterday. You got to go back on YouTube to check it out. Today we're talking about this is only a test, right? So the bad news, y'all, is when you pass this test, God gonna bless you. That's the bad news. But guess what? When we graduate from that, brand new test, brand new day. Brand new day. Guess what? We adding, look, y'all were on incline of a 9, we going to a 10. You ran the mile in 5 minutes. Tomorrow we're running it in 4:50. It's going down. It is going down. The word yesterday was really, really good. The word yesterday was, who is your enemy? New level, new devil. Yep. That was the word yesterday. Go back. It's on YouTube. Go check that joint out. It was probably one of the strongest ones, right? Right. All right. So gave y'all the good news and the bad news. Again, it's like lifting them weights, right? Drop that in the chat. It's going down. After every test, it's going down. We're going to celebrate today. I got a little six-pack from the gym. Tomorrow, we doing the abs again. Or we're doing more. Or we done mastered this, so I got to do something else to keep this thing going. That's the bad news. Good news is purpose behind your test. Bad news, God gonna bless you. Then we going harder, right? Anybody want to go harder anyway? Right? Ask somebody that done came up. Right? We all want $1 million. We all want $1 billion until we got 1 million lawsuits. Right? We all want to be this. We all want to be a boss until the last person, you the last person. Okay. All right. All right. So, another scripture that I put on here, like I said, it was 39 of them. I was just picking from the pool today, right? Scriptures on our faith being tested. We might have heard of this one. I know I heard of it. James chapter 1, verses 2 and 4. Inez, drop that for me. Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter, not if, when you encounter various trials. Only a test. Knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let the endurance have its perfect result so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. More test. It said it right there. That's basically said the bad news. That one, repeat that one, James 1, chapter 2 and 4. Drop it on there. Pull it up for me, Keisha. There you go. Thank you. Consider it all joy. It says this: when you encounter various trials, not 1, 2, 3, 4, on it, it's going down, right? Knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. You get stronger, you get faster, you can run farther. You learn from this one. Remember that trial that you had 3 years ago? It's light work today, right? Anybody ever had to go month to month and now you done got so used to going month to month, there's nothing. Oh, I know how to do that. I can go get this bread. I know what to do. You've passed the test. It's going down. We're going to another test, right? That's James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. That's why I said count it as all joy. Count all of it. I'm still month to month. Glad you said that, Keisha, because you brought up my point. You brought up the point right on cue. And we didn't even rehearse this, girl. We dancing great together. Keisha said, I'm still month to month, right? Here's the thing, and I wrote it right here. If you are taking the test over and over, guess what? You didn't learn from the test. Who take the same test over? Anybody? How many times y'all took the driver's test? I wish I would. I couldn't pass the driver's test, man. I don't know one rule up. No, man, that's another story, right? Right? So if we going through the same test over and over and over, guess what we ain't learning? Something. Because once we graduate from that, Keisha, I'm not calling you out, by the way. We ain't doing that no more. I just had an argument the other day. I said, listen, I'm not going back to that unless literally God say, Marcus, go back to that and bring somebody with you this time. I'm not going back to that. I know how to not do that no more, right? So I'm just using this month-to-month thing, which is a lot of us, right? Paycheck to paycheck, that's a lot of us. We got to learn to say, yeah, this test is hard, right? God gonna bless us through it. And after we get there, we got to do something else. Or we could do the month-to-month thing every month until we not doing it, right? So you may be in the test right now, and it may seem like you didn't learn from the test. And if you didn't learn on it, then again, that's on you, right? You may be in this test and it might seem like there's no end in sight, right? We've all said this. Anybody said these words? God, when? God is going down, right? God, when I'm gonna get married? God, when is this financial struggle gonna be over? God, when am I gonna be pregnant, God? When is a breakthrough gonna come, God? When am I gonna be healed from this cough, God? Like, right? We've all said these things. This is what they call faith, right? You gotta keep going. There's an end in sight. Faith is waiting a long time without knowing the answer. That's faith. And my last thing I wrote on here, and I put it for myself. How, Marcus, are you being tested today? A lot of times when we wake up, we get up, brush our teeth, get in the shower, get going, and we ain't got a clue what the test is. We just gonna go out there and bob and weave. Can we know what we're going through so that we can learn from it? So we can go back and look at film. So we can go back and study this move. Well, that didn't work. Let me scratch that out. Right? Right? We take finances as an easy one to take, or relationships. Those are easy topics to take that about lessons, right? Right? We're doing the same thing. Y'all know that definition of insanity. We're doing the same thing every day. And then at the end of the month, or we're doing the same thing in every relationship and wonder why he think I'm crazy. She think I'm tripping. We doing the same thing. We ain't learned nothing, right? I'm coming in at 2 in the morning wondering why she tripping every time. Bruh, right? I know the job pay $3 an hour. I know my bills, my job need to pay $9, but I'm still doing the $3 an hour thing. And I'm like, when is it gonna be over? God, like, test. Right? Either we need to come down on the bills or we need to go up on the, right? So ask yourself before we step out of these 4 walls today, if you already at work, before you make your next email, ask yourself, what's the test? Did I learn? What did I learn yesterday? What move can I not do today that was the move that yesterday that got me today, right? We're not gonna worry about tomorrow, but what we gonna learn from today? I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of going through the same test. I'm so tired of it, right? This is only a test. It's only a test, right? God testing our heart. Remember, I go back to the very beginning. In the world, the test is something for measuring the skill, knowledge, and intelligence. In the Bible, the test is a trial used by God to prepare our heart, right? To prepare our heart. How are we preparing our heart? Real talk, y'all. Anybody want to drop down on here? We got 7 minutes. What you being tested in, right? Right now, I can tell you this. I'm being tested in a season to where I'm trusting that God is going to continue to sustain me while I'm trying to grow in the area that he wants me to grow in, right? I'm being tested. Do I take the leap? Do I actually leave this? Some of y'all know what this is, but whatever, right? I ain't going there. Do I just go all in on my thing? I'm still trying to do my kingdom assignment, right? That's my test. What's your test, right? Play it again. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system for the next, you know it, right? EAS test. What you being tested in? This is a test. Do you know that you're in a test? Are you going day to day or you don't know? Are we gonna repeat it tomorrow? This joint is this joint Groundhog Day? Is this joint a video game in your life? Reset, play it again. Reset, do it again. Or do we graduate from it and go and move to the next test, right? We in the gym, are we putting 185 on for the next 6 years? Or are we gonna go and move up to 200? What we doing? What we doing? Why are we wasting our time? All right? Are we gonna treat every relationship the same? We're gonna be insecure in every relationship. Good luck on trying to find a healthy one, right? Are we gonna stay on that one job because we got 2 coworkers that we like, that we know we're not being treated right? Or are we gonna do that and then some? Or are we gonna graduate from that and do something else? What are we gonna do? I'm not telling nobody to quit their job. Marcus said, and another thing, boss, nah, you going to work today, then you be mad at me tomorrow on this joint, right? But nah, like, yo, what are we gonna do? right? Are we gonna stay are we gonna stay in the fixed income and just stay here forever and never be able to do nothing because we stay, or are we gonna do something else? What we gonna do? What we doing? Matter of fact, I'm writing that. What we doing? And I'm spelling it just like that. What we doing?
Hey Marcus, it's
What up,
Genesis.
What up, girl?
Okay, so one area that I'm being tested in is this darn Excel, doing a financial analysis. I'm like, I'm a supply chain person, not an accountant, not a financial analyst, but I'm like, okay, you know what? This is gonna stretch me. So I'm like, okay, God, I'm just gonna be patient, even though it's taken me a while to do this and scrub all the data. There's something in this that you want me to learn. So I'm like, oh. Because there's people who are Excel whiz that can just spit the stuff out.
Watch this. What you proficient in?
Project management.
You remember that time when you had to learn project management? You remember that time?
Yeah.
There you go. Right? You was like, oh, right? Hey, let's take it to the video games. Y'all remember Mario Brothers 1? Anybody tried to save the princess before school? Maybe that was just me, late for school, trying to save that dang on princess, right? Couldn't get past World 3, 4, then they hit you with the swimming work, like, yo, yeah, then you get past that first one, you like, oh, World 1-1, that's easy. Oh, but when you first opened that Nintendo, you was getting hit by turtles and mushrooms every time, right? Inez said, drop that scripture. It's Zechariah 13:9. Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, refine them as silver is refined, test them as gold is tested. They will call my name and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. They will say, the Lord is my God. Don't that sound like a conversation we had with God? Right? Some repressed anger. I'm still, matter of fact, when I get off of here, I'm about to go say that, Princeton. You get to that, what was that, World 8 or 9? It was the end. 8, 9? You get to the end of that joint, and I think it was World 8-4. You're going through it, and the board repeat itself, but the obstacles move. But then when you got it, you like jump, slide, bust this brick, get the star right here, right? World 8, look at you, Adrian, right? All right, y'all, tomorrow, this joint will be up on YouTube today. Subscribe to the channel, Blessed Beats Media. Before I hang up, Blessed Beats Media. Beats is spelled with a Z. Blessed Beats Media. You can watch the whole thing if you missed it. This will be up in an hour on there. This is about to hang us up. Tomorrow, I'll be back. It's only a test today, y'all. It's only a test. It's only a test. Will you pass the test or will you go through it again? All right, I'm out.